Today on Expert Showcase, our guest is Kristi Price, and she wants to know, are you single and tired of dating online? Kristi, welcome to Expert Showcase. We're so happy to have you as our expert guest today. How are you?
I'm great, Mark. Thanks for having me today.
Cool. Well, I wanted to start off just by having you give us a quick little overview here to orient our viewers as to what we're going to talk about in today's episode.
Okay, Mark. Well, I do personal coaching and matchmaking, and today we're going to talk about the world of online dating and how people are so frustrated with that, and try to give them some tips to go out on their own and basically be their own matchmaker.
Excellent. Okay. And when we were prepping for the show, we promised people that we were going to go through three important keys to success for this dating world. And so we're going to talk first that first impressions and confidence are really critical. Then we're going to go over the fact that connecting with others and meeting new people is a big part of the equation, and then setting goals. So let's go through those in order, and you can educate me a little bit more about this world that you live in. So talk to me about first impressions and confidence. When you're working with a client, what do you discuss in this area? What do you focus on?
Well, the first thing we do before we even send them out on a date is basically go over style and image and how important first impressions are. Because first impressions, if you nail that, you've pretty much won half the battle. If you blow it, then people aren't even listening to what you're saying.
Right.
So we go through style. I have some image consultants people work with, so they're dressed appropriately for their date. Confidence, which includes also posture. So you want to walk in, you want to own the room, you want to have a smile on your face, your chin's up, and you want to be approachable to your date so that, you know, the conversation kind of just flows when you do start to have that conversation.
Excellent. And so give me a sense of time for how long does it take to kind of work through this first part of the equation here before you're going to send them out into the real world?
It takes a little bit. Some people, if they're out in the professional world, they already have their style down, so they know how to dress. Then there's also hygiene with men. Also with women, there's doing your makeup right, and just basically the overall appearance is very important. So we work with that. And then posture and confidence and being able to hold a conversation is part of that as well.
So I guess it's really on a case-by-case basis, right? You have to kind of assess this person, get to know them, figure out, you know, do we have a long way to go, or are you almost ready? We just got to kind of brush up a few things and get you out the door here.
Right. It might take 1 or 2 meetings or coaching sessions, or it could take 4 or 5. It just depends on the individual.
And how do you like to work with people? Is this a virtual thing? Is this an in-person thing? What's the nature of your practice?
Well, mostly for right now, sometimes they connect with me through virtual introductions or my website, but I like to meet with everybody in person, or at least Skype with them. So I'm looking them in the eye. I do background checks on everyone I matchmake with. I want to make sure that we are compatible in terms of working together, because it's, you know, we're talking about a lot of personal things. So I try to meet with everyone one-on-one if possible.
Okay, great. So now you've got them sort of in the mode of, you know, it's important to make that first impression. It's important to present yourself with confidence. So let's move on to phase 2 here. So this is all about connecting with others and meeting new people. What are we doing with your clients in this phase here?
So with this phase, I try to help people just go out in everyday life and meet people. So after we go through the confidence and the image and they've really nailed the first impressions, it's all about being able to strike up a conversation with anyone, whether you're at a coffee shop or you're at a singles event, and just being comfortable with that. So we go through how to do that. So example, maybe complimenting someone's jacket or something that they're wearing. When you see them, is a kind of a great opener. Everyone loves compliments. So we go through different strategies on how to meet people and strike up a conversation.
I think that's excellent, Kristi, because I mean, you're sort of taking the skill set and taking away the pressure of the date, right, or the dating world, and you're really just giving people this opportunity to say, hey, no, these are skills that apply all over the place, not just in that world. So let's practice them in potentially benign situations where, you know, you don't feel that pressure of consequences, right?
Yeah, people miss so many opportunities throughout their day, and a lot of that is they're on their phone. So the first thing I teach people is be present in the moment.
Mm.
So put your phone away, look around, see your surroundings. Maybe there's someone interesting that you want to talk to. And especially during the day, people don't feel like they're being hit on. So if you're in a coffee shop and you're talking about a muffin or something benign like that, you're just having a conversation, and it could roll into something even better. At least, for nothing else, you might get a great friend out of it.
Absolutely. You raise a point that's so true, and it's such a recent phenomenon, but it's everywhere, right? I mean, no one takes their eye off their little screen anymore, right? I mean, you can be in public, but everyone's just kind of looking at their phone and not really interacting. It's pretty wild.
Right. How many people do you see, even at a table together, aren't talking? They're just texting back and forth.
I look around a restaurant these days, and I'm like, are they texting to each other across the, is it like, pass me the salt? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. It's an interesting look.
The art of conversation has kind of gone by the wayside for sure. And just connecting with people. And it's fun. If you take a fun approach and put your cell phone down, which I know is a little scary, we're all attached to it, and just try to have fun and talk to people. It can be a great asset to your day. Great.
I've got to confess, I've caught myself doing that any number of times. If I'm in a situation where I feel uncomfortable, I'll just pull that phone and just pretend to check my email. It's a great safety blanket, but it's important to pry it loose from people's hands, isn't it?
It is. Unless it's a neighbor next door that just wants to talk your ear off, then you can pull it back out.
Right. Then you put the earphones in, and you look very, very tired, very busy and focused. So let's move on to your third point, which is about setting goals. So what kind of goals? What are you working with your clients when it comes to this phase of the operation here?
Well, there are two kind of sides to this. The one side is make a goal to meet one or two people every day. So, which forces you to put your phone down and kind of have a kind of a goal on how many people. If you meet two people every day, 7 days a week, they have a lot more opportunities than not doing that and just going online or just meeting one person here or there. So we try to really have a plan on how are we going to meet new people, where are we going to meet new people, and we get that kind of structured. And then the other side to that is to know what you want in a soulmate or partner. Soulmate I'm not so fond of, but partner. So you want to kind of outline that. Do you have the same values? Do you want kids? Don't you want kids? So you want to have that out and basically outlined ahead of time, so you're not wasting time on the wrong people.
Right. So have some criteria, in mind, so that you're not so random about this whole process, right? And you're allowed to have criteria, right? I mean, it's
exactly. I mean, we have plans and goals for everything else, right? So if I'm at my job and I think I'm going to become the CEO, I need to plan to get there. Right. And it's not going to just happen. People say love will just happen when you least expect it. Really? That happens in your career, and It doesn't happen that way. You have to plan ahead.
My joke is always, I suppose statistically it's possible that the pizza delivery guy is the man of your dreams, but probably not, So if that's the most interaction you're having, perhaps you need to invite some other people to your living room or get out of your house and go engage a little bit, right? So. Or
maybe that's a strategy to meet more people, and he's actually a CEO of a big company.
There you go.
That's never going to happen.
Exactly. Probably not. He could be like that undercover boss guy who's just delivering pizza, but really he's the owner of the company, right?
Yeah, right. That's a little creepy anyway.
Exactly. Well, this is great, Kristi. I mean, I think this is such a valuable service. In some ways it sounds like ancient and old-fashioned, right? The idea of a matchmaker. I mean, I always think of something that happened, 100 or 500 or 600 years ago, even in some village. But it's so critical in this day and age, right? Because we have all these connection tools, but we're not so good at connecting anymore. And I think it's great to have somebody that you can, work with, who's going to help you, give you some structure, some guidance, some focus, and take a whole lot of that anxiety out of the equation, right? So.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. So we've been talking with Kristi Price, and the theme of our show today is: Are you single and are you tired of dating online? We've been covering the three main things that we're covering today: first impressions and having that confident approach. Then really connecting with people, but not necessarily in that pressured situation of the date. It's everyday situations, striking up conversations, meeting new people on a regular basis, and then setting some goals, some real structure to be kind of focused on this project, not random and hoping and wishing that something's going to magically happen. Well, Kristi, I want to tell people how they can get in touch with you. Obviously, your website sounds like a great place to do that, so people can go to KristiDPrice.com. That's Kristi with an I. I know it's on screen, but I'm just going to say that in case you're not looking at the screen, you're just listening. So Kristi with an I, dprice.com, and you've got a great offer for people there. They can fill out a form on the website, and you're giving away a 60-minute free coaching session as long as they just mention Expert Showcase. So I really appreciate you doing that. That's a great honor for us. So go over to KristiDPrice.com right now, fill out the form, mention Expert Showcase. Kristi will give you a 60-minute free coaching session. Very generous of you. Well, it's been great to have you on the show as our expert today. Relationships are so key to so many facets of life, but certainly to our personal lives. So I think you have a lot to offer for people. I hope they take advantage of your offer. So thanks for being with us today, Kristi.
Well, thanks for having me, Mark. It's been fun.
And another great Expert Showcase episode. Chris, what should people do right now?
Yeah, if you're watching this and you're a coach or consultant, imagine what it would do for you and your business if you were a guest on Experts Showcase. And here's the best part. Other than possibly increasing your business, an appearance on Expert Showcase is free. We give you a copy of your episode so you can use as marketing collateral, and we give you a coaching session to go along with it to tell you how you can best market your episode and other tips and tricks about your business. So what you want to do is head on over to expertshowcase.com, click on the big yellow apply button, and apply to be our next featured guest on the Expert Showcase. Now, if you're a coach or consultant and you've already imagined what having your own internet talk show will do for you, then we want you to head to VideoContent.Agency and check us out, check our packages out, and get in contact with us. Let's see if we're a good fit, and let's see if we're the ones to produce you and make you the next star and have your own internet talk show. And until next time, Mark, anything else?
I couldn't have said it any better, so just do what he said.